I took a couple of pictures of our last campground in Klamath before we left. That scooter, that's kind of the other direction. That was a great campground. I'd go there again in a minute.
So this may be one of the scarier drives we've been on. This is Howland Hill Drive or Road, and we're going to the Boy Scout Tree Trail. And this road is narrow and it's windy.
And it's gravel.
And it's now gravel. We've already met 2 people on the trail on this road. It's pretty. It's very pretty. Bumpity bump. You can see the trees right on the road. This is a fun little curve. Whee! Oh, hello.
There you go. We still have another mile and a half of this.
Hopefully it doesn't get any more narrow. Nobody else comes flying around the corner. And we did come in on the short way, so to speak. I think this road is like 10 miles long, and we've got 2.5 miles on this road. And had we come in on the other end, we would have had 7.5 miles of this. So glad we came in on this end.
Going to Boy Scout Tree.
Yeah. This Boy Scout tree is a huge redwood, apparently, that was discovered by a Boy Scout troop. Hence why we're going to it. Who needs a drive-through tree? Just drive this road.
We made a car. We may have to drive through one of them.
It'd be fun coming back when there's more people on the road.
So far, coming back, I'll have to go against the side with the hill behind me instead of having to move to the side with a drop off beside me.
Right.
We did not meet anybody on the way in, but on the way out, we met about 4 different cars, and we had to pass on that road.
It's fun stuff.
And this was when we got into that parking lot. Jen had a phone call from Grace, and we had to set up Starlink to get her a phone signal to call back, and it worked great.
It did. And then this is where we did a hike today, 5.2 miles or so.
5 or 8, which is
well, all depends on who you ask. All trails or Garmin. I just saw these flowers. They're pretty.
This is Jen. It's sitting in between 2 trees. It's going to become one
eventually.
And when you get to the tree we actually hike back to, it's called the Boy Scout tree. And it actually is 2 trees also. I was kind of disappointed because we saw big single trees in that forest that were probably bigger than the 2, any one of the 2 of the Boy Scout tree. But you'll see it later.
This is new redwoods coming out just from wherever. And then there's me against a huge tree that we actually think is bigger than the Boy Scout tree.
We actually stopped at it and thought, was that the Boy Scout tree? Because that was huge. Then we saw the little sign pointed up a hill. And then we got up there, and that's what they call the Boy Scout tree. Jen looked up the history on that.
Yeah, a Boy Scout leader found it while doing a hike in 1973, I think. No, it was earlier than that.
50,
anyway,
in the 53,
maybe 53, and just named it the Boy Scout tree.
We stood there to show the size. We saw a little chipmunk. He was pretty active right there at the Boy Scout tree.
It's pretty cute. Me with my feet in the water.
We happened to hike on another 0.2 or 0.3 of a mile to see this waterfall.
Fern Falls.
Fern Falls. It is a beautiful waterfall. It's short. I mean, it's small, but it was good. We sit there and ate a little snack lunch before we headed back.
Yep.
And at that point, our GPS for Garmin said it was already at 4 point something miles, and All Trail says at 2.6. So.
Yep.
And then on the way to the next campground, I found a Dairy Queen. Hadn't seen one in at least 4 weeks.
He found it. We found it in Brookings, Oregon.
Had to turn around and go back.
And then this is just a beach we found. It's
a beautiful beach. These rocks, black rocks with that water, are just so fascinating. I mean, I could have stood there and took pictures all day long.
Yep. And these two sets, I guess, of rocks are just really cool, especially when the water crashes up against them.
Right.
On the backside, obviously.
Yep. There you go, like that right there.
Yep.
There was a lot of people on this beach, and some in the water. Some we saw coming out were swimming, and then we saw these two girls going out into it to swim. They didn't stay long.
No, they did not.
I ended up walking out and putting my feet in the water, but it was probably a 50, 55 degree water temperature.
Yep, there he goes.
I tried to hold my pants up.
He had to get his feet in the Pacific.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever put my feet in the Pacific yet or not, so I thought, I've got to do this. Jen can't hold the camera still.
I was adjusting.
And I was standing there, and I got the waves on me, and then all of a sudden a big one come in and got my pants wet. So wasn't that big, but it's big enough.
And these 4 rocks were just really cool.
There wasn't great places to pull out really and get pictures of this one. You couldn't really get down to them.
Right.
I guess you could. Well, you couldn't climb off that cliff.
Right. That's the interesting thing about Oregon is there's not as many pullouts to take pictures and stuff, which I thought was kind of interesting. And this was where we saw those 4 rocks.
And then we're going to our next campground, and then we got there, and we found they actually have a lodge.
Yep.
That they're converting to a game room. That has a game room.
Yep.
And
wood burning stove.
Wood burning stoves. And downstairs they do massages. And
yep, they're obviously working on but there's games up there, puzzles.
You can actually see Scooter if you wait just a second.
Way
in the back, right there. You can see him in the back. Barely.
By Scooter.
And that's it. And that's where we camp for the next 2 days.
Yep.
We got a good signal.
And view of the beach.
If you enjoyed our video, please select the subscribe and the like button below to get to our next